Alright, jeranism, I don't have a globe like you would claim all globe heads have, because we're in love with the globe, and I don't have laser pointers, but I do have a brain, which you claim that we don't have. So I was able to think of a way to show you this in another way. Okay? Wolfie is exactly right. It's all basic geometry. Scale, for star trails themselves, scale has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's about the axis of the Earth, where that dart is pointing over the Earth, okay? If you're spinning on an axis, all lines, no matter where they are, will point to the North Star. Okay, the reason why your experiment didn't work is because you have to be absolutely perfectly pointing at the North Star with your globe, and the laser has to be absolutely perfectly pointing. I'm sure your laser was pointing at it, but your globe wasn't lined up, which made it go all off axis. Right? This is just, I took the variables out. This is it has to be turning directly over top of that. Right? Therefore, my lines do match up. They're physical strings instead of laser beams. Okay, so this is what you asked for right here. The reason we know the stars are far away, this doesn't take very far away. Like, look at, and they're almost 90 degrees. But the reason we know that they are far away is because of how far down we do see them. We do see them down to 90 degrees or whatever, right? And because of the orbit around the sun. But this is almost enough scale to explain that too. Say you're on this string orbiting around the dart in the center, and you're spinning on the axis of the string. That string is still pointing at the North Star all year long. Okay? So this is enough scale to show you why the North Star doesn't move in a whole entire year. And this ball is spinning 100 times faster than the globe right now. Okay? This is what you guys are doing. You're just deceiving people into what the globe should do. That's why we get mad at you, because you're putting words in our mouth. You're telling us about our theory. Do you understand that? Like, do you understand how much you badmouth globeheads? That's why we're mad and frustrated, because you never listen to anything we say. This is basic geometry. It's very easy. And the sun and the North Star both orbit the solar system, or the galaxy, sorry, together. So they're moving around. Why, if you're in this red square and you rotate around to here, why would any of these things around you have moved? Okay, so you're not debunking anything, you're just telling people the wrong theory. You're telling people something that shouldn't happen on a globe, and then you're telling them to go out and look at it, and then they don't find it because it shouldn't actually happen. Just like the curvature. I'm not saying that you have to be purposely deceiving us, but I know that you were deceived by this in the first place, because I was deceived by this in the first place. Okay, this is what they tell you the curvature is, but that's not the curvature. That's the physical measurements of the drop going out like this. If you looked at an actual chart that tells you how much it drops as you go up, like this is what your chart should look like. So in order to do that using this chart, you have to do it this way. This is the height that you need to be at. 8 inches high, you can see for a mile. At 32 inches high, you can see for 2 miles. Okay? And this is the angle that it dropped from your eyes, which tells you on any size ball what the curvature and drop from your eyes are. So this is getting squared, so you have to go up higher and higher to get this to change anymore. So this is actually slowing down. The drop and the curvature slows down as you go up. And you've been looking at this for 2 years and imagining the curve speeding up and speeding up and speeding up. That's the physical drawing of the Earth. That's not what you would see as you go up. And this guy made an error right here, right where airliners are or so, like, and it doesn't even show anything about the curve. Like, if this is the curve column, why has no flat earther ever mentioned this? If you've debunked the curve, why wouldn't you mention the curvature column? Okay? And this is my proof that he's purposely deceiving, because this is right at the balloon footage. So it's only supposed to drop 3.4 degrees. Then there's clouds on top of that. And 3.4 degrees from eye level is basically flat, so it should not curve. Just like the stars should not move. You're telling people to go out and look for this huge drop of curve, 7.9 miles, but it looks like 3.4 degrees from 250 miles away. So You don't have to be purposely deceiving people, but you were deceived by this chart. I was deceived by this chart, even until I figured out that that was wrong, because that made me think that airliners should drop a lot more, but it shouldn't. Okay, all the way up to 129 miles before you get to 14 degrees. If you're looking straight out, you drop 14 degrees, it's probably around there. So even from the ISS or whatever, there should barely be any curvature. So you're only lying about our theory. You're putting words in our mouth. That's why we get mad at you. That's why we get frustrated, because you never listen